The flip Planeswalkers would never hurt Smeagol. No, they're tricksy. Tricksy Planeswalkers.
Alright, listen up. Modern Horizons 3 introduces 5 new flip Planeswalkers, dude, and I couldn't be more excited to throw them in the trash. Just kidding. Just kidding, dude, alright? I jest. Are they decent? Would they function as good commanders? Do I need you to like and subscribe right now? Yes. Yes and yes, brother. And if you want to support the channel, we'd love to see you on the Patreon. Many thanks to these dudes. We got a new one here, Zach. Big Zach on the attack. Big ups to Pub Stomp MTG. This guy's in my Discord right now, man. I like his channel a lot, so check him out too if you haven't. These guys and ladies are true bros. Anyways, let's take a look at these new flip Planeswalkers. First thing to know is that you have to check a rather obscure little dot on the Planeswalker side to see what color identity is for each of these cards. It's a little hard to see, so let me blow it up for you. Oh my god, what is that? There's something hidden in there. What the heck is that thing? Computer enhance. Enhance? Oh dear. That's Vladimir Putin, brother. It all makes sense now. Computer enhance the image. I can't believe that. Putin. Oh dear. Anyways. Now first up we got Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student. 1 blue mana for a legendary creature, Moonfolk Wizard. It's a 0/3 with flying. Whenever this thing attacks, investigate. That's create a clue, brother. When you draw your 3rd card in a turn, exile Tamiyo, then return her to the battlefield transformed under her owner's control. Transforms into Tamiyo, the Seasoned Scholar, loyalty 2, has +2 until your next turn. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets -1, -0 until end of turn. -3, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a green card, add 1 mana of any color. Has -7, draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library, rounded up. You get an emblem with, you have no maximum hand size. Another emblem Planeswalker. Green and blue, man, that means Simic nonsense, dude. Tamiyo wants to draw cards. Building around this lady means weaponizing that. Although I think it would be better in the 99 of decks that want to draw lots of cards, but can get you to that -7 quicker, decks that proliferate, stuff like that. Overall, not a super exciting flip Planeswalker. Nobody really likes Tamiyo anyways, right? I rate this a 4 out of 10. And then next up is Ajani Pariah. This guy's 1 and a white for a legendary creature, Cat Warrior. It's a 1/2. When this guy enters the battlefield, create a little 2/1 Cat Warrior creature token. Whenever 1 or more other cats you control die, you may exile it and return it to the battlefield transformed. Turns into a Ajani Avenger. Has loyalty 3, +2. Put a +1/+1 counter on each cat you control. 0, create one of those little Cat Warrior creature tokens. When you do, if you control a red permanent other than Ajani, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. That's pretty cool. -4, each opponent chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest. Has loyalty 3. Out of all of them, this is probably my favorite build around. Pretty dope red-white cat commander, brother. That 0 ability is useful. The -4 is pretty nuts. Can really keep a cap on what your opponents are able to do. It's realistically attainable too. You know what I mean? Because it's just a -4. As a build around, it's interesting. You've got anthems, you got Boros combat enhancers like Erois, Gisela, that can augment your cat's ability to bang in, dude. Most cats are white. You add Boros to that. You know, you got some stuff going on. Lots of great cats to stick in there. Interesting tribal commander, 6 out of 10. Then we got old Ral Zarek here. He's the Monsoon Mage. Wonder, it's a weird name, dude. The Monsoon Mage. Sounds like a wrestler. 1 and a red, legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 1/3. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell during your turn, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Ral deals 1 damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile it. If you do, return him to the battlefield transformed. Transforms into Ral Leyline Prodigy. He enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on him for each instant and sorcery spell you've cast this turn. Has starting loyalty at 2. Has a +1 until your next turn. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. I like that. -2, he deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Draw a card if you control a blue permanent other than Ral. -8, exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant and sorcery spells from among them this turn without paying their mana cost. That front side reminds me a little bit of Usury Fortune's Flame. Similar effect, if you lose the flip, he deals damage. Now, I don't think there are a ton of decks built around Usury. He's like 30 cents right now. Now listen, man, there is a certain sector of the Magic the Gathering community that wants to flip coins, dude. Sick bastards they are. You know, you got your Zinder Split and Cocoon decks out there. They're damn animals, brother. All these guys want to do is flip coins all day like a bunch of squirrels. Take 45-minute turns. You know what? Just let me know when I lose so I can go have a snack, brother. The sound of coins frenetically flipping in the background as I munch down some peanut M&Ms in the corner. I think if you skip the coin flip nonsense and focus on instants and sorceries, that +1 can be really good, dude. Building to the -8 is going to take a while unless you've stormed off the turn you flipped him, which you will, dude. This guy's a little better, man. All in all, flip morale is pretty good. 7 out of 10. And this is the one everybody's been waiting for because everybody loves Twilight, Sorin of House Markov. 1 in a black for a legendary creature, Human Noble. It's a 1/4 with lifelink and extort. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, exile this guy, return him to the battlefield transformed. Transforms into Sorin Ravenous Neonate. Starting loyalty is 3, also has extort. +2, create a food token, dude. -1, he deals damage equal to the amount of life you gain this turn to any target, which can be very powerful. -6, gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. Put a lifelink counter on it if you control a white permanent other than that creature or Sorin. Black-white color identity, beautiful art, dude. He's a pretty boy. Not a bad build around. Food tokens, extort, lifelink, he's got it all going on, man. That -1 in the right deck can potentially take people out of the game, man. When you're gaining tons of life or an arbitrary amount of life, Sorin is a neat card. Seems like a fun build around. Beautiful alternate art, you know, not gonna lie, dude. It's gonna drive all the vampire lovers crazy. 12 out of 10. And lastly, here we have Grist, the Voracious Larva. 1 green mana, legendary creature, insect. It's a 1/2 with Death Touch. Whenever this guy or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from your graveyard, or you cast it from your graveyard, you may pay green. If you do, exile it and return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Transforms into Grist, the Plague Swarm. Starting loyalty is 3, has a +1, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill 2 cards. Put a Death Touch counter on the token if a black card was milled this way. It's pretty neat, I guess. -2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. -6, for each creature card in your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 black and green insect. Incredibly useful loyalty abilities on a very cheap Planeswalker. It's going to cost 2 mana to flip this guy over. This is great in self-mill Golgari or Soul Tide decks. This little fella just keeps the mill train going, man. Has enchantment, artifact removal stapled right on, which is great, and flips off graveyard interaction. Very neat card, sweet build around, 8 out of 10. So how did these guys compare to the prior flip Planeswalkers from the days of yore? 2015 Magic Origins had the original 5 monocolored flippers. Jace was one of the first ones, man. I never really liked Jace. That backside ultimate, that's a pipe dream, man. You ain't getting a 9, dude. Come on. Somebody's murking this guy big time. In the modern era, I don't think Jace holds up. Now, Liliana brings a lot to the table, making a token, paying off aristocrat nonsense that you're definitely going to be up to. The backside has a reanimator ability that's going to come in handy to get back your sack fodder. Pretty sweet card, man. And Nissa, looking fly in her forest green ensemble, pretty neat in a landfall deck. Man, they were really leaning into big game-winning ultimates back then. The problem with those is that you've got this big game-winning ultimate printed on the card. Everybody's going to read it. And then your Planeswalker becomes a lightning rod for attacks and removal, which is fine, you know, if you're packing another way to win in your hand, and they're cheap enough that it doesn't matter that much anyway. Magic is a game of hidden information, though, you know, and these Planeswalkers just kind of sit there showing their hands. Anyways, Kithian transforms into Gideon, brother. He's doing a brand name change, turning into a big greasy dude with that weird shield. Anyways, this is a little more tenable in an aggro deck. I can see the appeal here. You're manipulating combat, so this guy slots really well in the decks that want to do that. Now finally, Chandra. I like the front side a lot, man. 3 mana for this in a deck where you're doubling, tripling damage, leaning into non-combat damage. Chandra can be a solid value piece. Now, Core Set 2019 brought us a really wild flip Planeswalker, the Elder Dragon, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. 4 mana for a 4/4 flyer, but pay 7 damn mana. It's 11 mana total, and he flips into the big mean Planeswalker with 4 loyalty abilities. Nicol Bolas is a little beefier, can take out a threatening creature with that -3 when he flips, or draw a couple cards, reanimate something from a graveyard. Pretty nice card, man. This thing is $20 or so for the cheapest version. I don't think it's worth it really, but you know, it's a neat card. Definitely a big stupid commander card, but at the same time, what are we doing? We're building big stupid commander decks, brother. And that's why I like Ajani the best, man, because he's a literal brother, dude. His brother Jazal is out there with him. They're making a fun time together, dude. They're hanging out. They're going to the arcade. You know, they're doing all kinds of fun stuff. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're a flip Planeswalker enjoyer, a silly goose, or just a sweet animal out there. Are you flipping coins, dude? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoy the beauty around you, man. Shower the people you love with love, brother. Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.